Hello SLS 1101 students, this video is designed to walk you through your very first assignment of your student success course, Module 1, Assignment 1. So I'm over here on the left-hand side of the screen in a Blackboard shell for one of my example classes, and we're going to find our first assignment and then walk you through how to get that perfect score on that assignment. So all your assignments are listed over here on the left-hand side of your blue toolbar. I know this is your first one, so we'll walk you through this a little bit more slowly. We're starting off with Module 1 for now, so we'll have a look inside of Module 1. Module 1 contains a lot of useful information, so be sure to read the introduction and especially the course objective as well. The course objective tells you exactly what you want to be walking away with content-wise by the time we finish Module 1. And for now, we're looking at describing the culture of the college and designing an academic success plan. That second part there is going to be especially important here in just a moment whenever we open up your first assignment, which is Module 1, Assignment 1, or M1A1. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, before you submit assessments inside of the assessments folder, the very first step you want to do is make sure that you are completing the associated study activities to help prepare you for those assessments. So let's have a look inside that folder first. And we're inside of our Module 1 study activities, and there's a list of all of these study activities on the top here of the screen. They can also be found on your schedule of activities. Module 1 is associated with Chapter 1 of your textbook, so be sure to have a look inside of Chapter 1. There are videos here to watch, 3 in this case. There are self-assessments toward the bottom which come directly out of your textbook. So have a look at these pages in your textbook. This will bring you to a third-party website to take a brief assessment and then finish up with one more video as well. Be sure to be taking notes as you're watching these videos and completing these assessments because you'll also be asked about these on your module quizzes at the end of each module. So these do play a significant role in your learning, and for online students, these also help replace the traditional lecture that you're not sometimes used to seeing that you would have inside of a traditional classroom. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves and start completing assignments, be sure you're doing the core work, the original exploration of collecting this information, taking notes, and completing the learning that's associated with the assignments. So we're inside the Module 1 study activities. Let's back it up. And let's have a look at the Module 1 assessment. So we just saw the study activities folder. Let's go inside the assessments folder now. Module 1 has 3 assessments. Module 1 Assignment 1 is what we're focusing on this video, but there will be future videos for Module 1 Assignment 2 and Module 1 Assignment 3, which is that quiz that I just mentioned to you related to those study activities. So for now, let's have a look at Module 1 Assignment 1, Preparing for a College Course Assignment. There's a attached file here, which I have pulled up for us, which is going to help us keep us on track with completing our assignment. We'll look at that in just one moment. There's a note here that says, learning in college is your responsibility. Setting your purpose, your goals, and intentions for your classes will motivate you to make good choices and promote student success. There is this misconception that some students have that all classes are created equally, and that if they're taking 5 classes, for example, and they're going to study for those classes, that they're going to study for each of those 5 classes the exact same way, and they're going to allocate the exact same amount of study time for each of those 5 classes as well. But that is a misconception, because some classes are going to be more challenging for you than others. Some require more reading, some require more research, some require more note-taking and studying for exams. So what this assignment here is identified to do is to take the class that you're taking this semester, which you identify as being the possible most challenging class for you, and preparing for that class a little bit differently by identifying problems before they even occur and putting steps into place to make sure you're prepared for those challenges. And this template here is going to help us do that with parts 1, 2, and 3. One more note, your instructors will be grading you based off of a rubric to make sure that you're earning full points for all of these assignments. Every assignment has a rubric, so before you submit your assignment, make sure to check the rubric and that make sure you have all of the elements there checked off to get that full score on your assignment. So before we go any further, let's have a look at your first assignment by clicking the icon here and downloading your Microsoft Office template. I have the assignment pulled up over here on the right-hand side of our screen now. Module 1, Assignment 1, Preparing for a College Course. We already mentioned learning in college is your responsibility. Let's have a look at Part 1. Identify a college class that you're taking this semester which you consider to be the most challenging. If you're only taking SLS 1101, you may use SLS for this assignment, but we prefer that you use something outside of our coursework. Are you taking college algebra? Are you taking E&C 1101? Are you taking psychology or another class that you know is going to be a challenge for you? Let's focus on that one first. Before you begin this assignment, be sure to have your syllabus and your schedule of activities handy. I have our personal syllabus over here on the left-hand side of the screen just for reference. And be sure whenever you're responding to these questions, this is a college level assignment, so one-word answers or partial sentences isn't typically what we're looking for. Give me your answer and then defend it or explain it or go into more detail in 2 to 3 sentences each. That's very important when it comes to grading. I'll provide relevant details, examples when necessary, and so on. So part 1 here is in the green. Let's have a look at what the questions are asking of us. Identify a course that you suspect as being a potential challenge for you. That one is a short answer. So just identify that class that you know is going to require more work on your end. Identify it, put it here and list it, and move on to question number 2. What is the purpose for learning in this course? What knowledge or skills will you develop? So go out there and find what the course is going to offer to you. You might not know. Odds are a lot of the classes you're taking because an advisor told you that you had to take that class. But if you're thinking about your intent for learning and your place in the college, an answer like I was told to take this class just isn't going to be good enough. So go and find what the class is going to offer to you. Find something interesting about it. Find a way that it relates to your future career or your future learning. And sometimes you got to make some of this stuff up, but you have to find a purpose and you have to find the connection. Otherwise, the learning won't be as deep and it won't be as meaningful to you. This is also associated to that same philosophy. Why is learning and performance in this class important for your future as a college student? You have to have a role in the class. It's not just simply to get an A and move on. Think about the knowledge that you want to gain. And again, sometimes it's a stretch. Sometimes you have to find a connection, but the more insight and the more personal stake you have in that connection, the more meaningful it will be for you and the better student and the better professional you'll be down the road. So make these connections now. The deeper your buy-in is to this class, the more of a stake you have in that classroom and the more likely you are to be successful. What do you expect to be difficult about this course? What have you personally heard about the class? So now we're getting more into the nitty-gritty, the cut and dry answers. So you identified a class as being the most challenging. Why? What is it about it? Has your friend said something about the class? Have you taken the class before and didn't do so well? List those responses here in 2 to 3 sentences. What past experiences do you have which may be similar to the one identified above? So what's a time in your past? It may be school related, but it may not be school related. A time when you were challenged and you either overcame the challenge or you succumbed to the challenge. So what have you done in your past that you were challenged and you had to respond? 2 to 3 sentences there. What past experience do you have in overcoming a personally challenging task or an obligation in your schoolwork? Similar. When have you overcome? The more that you've overcome challenges in your past, the more confidence and the more experience you have with overcoming challenges in your future. So even if your challenge in your past wasn't school related, you still know what it's like to be pushed to your limits and the work it takes to overcome those challenges. So branch off of that previous experience and build it into your future. Question 6. So that deals with part 1 of the assignment. It's getting prepared and getting in the right mindset to tackle this class. Moving down now to page 2, or part 2 of the assignment. I want you to have a look at the major assignments coming up for the class. Your instructor might have mentioned them already, or you might have to do a little bit more work on your end. I want you to find out if there's a midterm, and if so, answer. What's the date of the midterm? What do you need to know for the midterm? And what date should you start to prepare for the midterm? Put this information on your calendar. If you know your midterm is on week 7 of the class, when should you start preparing and studying? Is it week 3? Is it week 4? Don't wait until the last minute. Put it on your calendar and set yourself up for success. And know the information that's going to be on the midterm, and the final exam is similar. Odds are your class probably has a final exam. SLS 1101 does not contain a final exam, but most other classes will. So find the class. Go into their syllabi. I have our syllabus pulled up here. It tells all the information throughout the class. The assignments, the quizzes, and then our big commitment to the class is the career choice presentation, which if we were working on our assignment for SLS 1101, that would go here on the third indicator, major projects or paper if applicable. SLS 1101 does have a major project, so when is it due? If you're not sure, go to your schedule of activities. The schedule of activities will tell you every assignment you're going to have and when they're going to be due. So find that information, find out here where it goes. Provide a summary of what this project includes. So career choice presentation. I'm on our rubric here. We know it's in the class. It's worth 50 points out of 400 possible. So let's scroll down and see if there's more information about it. There's some more information here on your syllabus. There's also some more information about your career presentation in the class. If we want to have a look at it, we can bounce back to our Blackboard shell. If you do a little bit of exploration, you can go to Module 5, and you'll notice that in the Module 5 assessments, you already have your career presentation. Right here at the bottom, there's more information, instructions, rubrics, and so on and so on. So get familiar with what the challenges are going to be presented to you throughout the semester so that you're working actively and not proactively. So fill out the information for midterm, final exam, and your major projects for that particular class. One side note here, answers such as I don't know don't count for credit. Admitting that you don't know the answer isn't good enough. Go out and find out what it is. If it's not on the syllabus, check the schedule of activities, check Blackboard, email your instructor if need be, ask a question in class, visit your instructor during office hours, but get an idea for what the semester is going to be like for those challenging classes and start filling in this information accordingly. So that's part 2 of your assignment. Part 3 is another one to be careful of partial answers. A lot of times students identify the barriers and the solutions, but they don't go into any detail. So detail is where you get the majority of your points in a class like this. It's not just the surface level, it's what's underneath. So identify barriers and create solutions using 2 to 3 sentences. They'll provide relevant details, examples, and connect the responses to personal knowledge and experience. So again, be specific here. So what you're going to do here is you're going to identify situations before they even occur, a barrier that might come into place. It might be internal, something like procrastination, or it might be external, something like you've struggled with math before in the past, or something along the lines of a barrier that could happen in your semester that you're going to prepare for before it even becomes an issue. So again, be specific. If you are a known procrastinator, don't just put barrier 1 procrastination. Give me an example of how you procrastinated before. Give me an understanding of the depth of your procrastination. I complete all of my assignments at the last minute. An example of this was when I was in high school. I had a 3-week-long project to work on, and my group was waiting on me, and I didn't get my responses in until the very last minute. So give me some detail so I see the depth of your barrier. And then give me a solution for if you had that to do over again, how would you resolve the issue in a more positive light? So give me explanations, barriers, and solutions. Create 3 barriers, 3 associated solutions in 2 to 3 sentences each, and you should be looking at a full credit response for your first assignment, Module 1, Assignment 1. While I'm here, I want to stop you and challenge you to do one more thing on this assignment to go above and beyond. So we've identified the class, the major assignments, and barriers. One more thing I want you to look at to really kind of put yourself over the top here is try to find extra help resources. I challenge you to find 3 help resources provided by the college or your class specifically, and also 3 help resources that you find completely on your own. Maybe you go to YouTube and find a channel that has a lot of lectures or help videos. Maybe you find an app that has practice games, or a Quizlet that has notes and study guides. So I would challenge you to go out and start collecting extra way to prepare for this class without having to have the instructors tell you to do so. So find 3 institutional resources, things provided by the college, and 3 resources provided by your instructor for an extra bump on this assignment. If you look at your syllabus for SLS 1101, you scroll down a little bit here, there's already some academic resources here, so jot those down. These are things the college provides to you. Your syllabus and other class may have similar artifacts. If we go to the website and we go to the students page on the website, there's all sorts of student life and learning support. Have a look at the support that's already in place by the college, the tutoring centers, the free smart thinking, all of these items that will help you be successful along the way. Collect those now so you know where to find them. There's all sorts of support on the website, so explore and put that into your assignment so you have those resources available. 3 that 3 that the Institute provides, and 3 that you found on your own. So we've collected a lot of information. You've got your artifact ready to hand in. Make sure you save all of your work as a document file or a PDF file. Save that to your computer. You've got the information. The way that you submit your work is, let's go back into Module 1 here. Let's go into Module 1, have a look at our assessments again. The way that you submit your work, this is one of the biggest questions we get from students. The way that you submit your work is by clicking the assignment title. So click the assignment title. It mentions it right here as well. Click the M1A1 Preparing for a College Course assignment title to submit your work. Let's click it. That brings us to our assignment drop box. The way that you upload your assignment, due dates will be listed here, points possible will be listed here. Be sure to view the rubric before submitting your assignment, and you're going to browse your computer and you're going to upload that file. One thing you never want to do for really any college class is type any of your answers directly into the comment section. You'll always want to upload your work so that it's formatted correctly and your instructor can grade you as effectively as possible. Once you browse your computer and upload that file, you'll click submit and it will be sent to your instructors for grading. So that's a little bit of an overview of your first assignment. Get in there, answer some of the questions. If you have questions about the assignment, reach out to your instructors. And otherwise, I hope you enjoy your first assignment of your SLS 1101 course. Thanks for watching.